I recently won a $100,000 grant. That is a hallmark of success in fundraising, but it takes more than writing. In this video, I share how I got this grant, as well as my top 5 steps to grant writing success. Step 1, learn who is giving the money away and why. Have you ever given money or time to a cause that you care about? Maybe more than one cause. I've given money and time to help prevent child abuse, for veterans causes, local museums, and my church. That makes you and I donors, but we're not grant funders. Grants are started by individuals, families, or maybe colleagues who work together for a common cause. They take being a donor to a whole new level, setting aside a significant amount of money to use for the public good, and then put a formal application structure in place. Corporations start grant programs to support all kinds of causes based on needs they see in the communities where they have a store, office, or warehouse. Grants from government agencies are intended to make specific changes to the culture or economy of your state or the nation. They petition Congress or the state legislature to allocate tax money to their offices to give away as grants. Here's a bit of grant vocabulary. When you hear me say funder, I mean these organized groups, whether it's a publicly funded grant from government agencies or privately funded grants from corporations or a group of people. So your first step when you see a grant opportunity is to learn as much as you can about why this funder is giving this money away. A lot of funders have a website that spells out their interests and their grant process. Read them carefully. They often have free webinars to explain things. Register for those. Others don't publish so publicly, but they have a contact person. Contact them and ask. It's their job. In my $100,000 grant example, a group of local professionals pool their funds to make large grants in our region for a variety of causes. Step 2, understand your competition. Friends, let's just lay out a brutal fact. Only 10% of grants ever applied for will be awarded. 10%. Why such a small number? Mostly because the project was not a fit for the funder, which is why I just went through step number 1 in detail to make sure you understand why that funder awards those grants. Your project has to match their interests, no exceptions. Or the funder liked the proposal but didn't fund it because they ran out of money. It happens all the time. Funders get way more proposals than they can ever support. Or your proposal wasn't well prepared and you scrambled at the last minute to send in a proposal and you miss crucial details. The funder sees that and won't support it. The next step in this video will help you avoid that mistake. There is no such thing as a 100% guarantee that you'll win a grant, but you will greatly increase your chances when you send in a complete and accurate grant proposal. Grant Chatter videos will show you how it's done. I don't have a 100% win record for grants. Nobody does. For example, I'm sharing in this video about a $100,000 grant that I won, but a week ago I lost a $45,000 grant. The reason? The funder liked our project, but thought that other proposals promised better results, so they got the grant. Step 3, read the instructions to improve your odds. I know, this is so boring, but if you skip the instructions and send in a bad proposal, you stay with the 90% that will lose a grant. For example, my $100,000 grant had very strict instructions on what they wanted to see in that proposal. Pro tip, these are very common instructions. You'll likely see them in your own grant proposal. Requirement number 1, program costs only. This funder is only interested in what it costs to run our programs, not our overhead. For small businesses, this would be a specific need, such as purchasing inventory or marketing, not just pocketing the money. Requirement number 2, limited geographic range. Your program must take place in the funder's preferred geographic area. That could be a city, a county, part of a state, multiple states, or nationwide. Requirement number 3, you must show results and have evidence to back them up. Our $100,000 grant will support a youth mentoring program. We'll measure results by how many young people gained life skills and created a solid plan for their future, including graduation and career goals. A small business can show results in increased sales through a marketing grant, training new employees in specialized technology, or other business growth projects. Requirement number 4, keep the project going after grant dollars are spent. In the grant world, this is known as sustainability, and funders want you to prove that your project doesn't rely on just their money to make it happen. They will often ask for proof of support from other sources. For the $100,000 grant, we showed that our organization is supporting all the overhead costs around the program, facilities, salaries, taxes, etc. And we got another grant that bought some equipment. This left their grant dollars to support just the program, just as they wanted. And they can see that we have lots of support, so they don't see us as a risky investment, because grant funders don't like risk. You can learn more about how these numbers work by watching my video on grant budgets, linked above and below. Okay, you've read the instructions and the requirements. Your project is a match. Step 4, get comfy. Writing the grant will take a while. The time it takes to write a grant proposal to private funders or corporations may vary widely, maybe up to 20 hours to complete. State and federal grants might go as high as 100 hours to complete. At the time I post this video, I'm working on a government grant that has so many requirements. It will easily take 100 hours to get it ready. These hours are not all spent writing. That's just a piece of the puzzle. For the $100,000 grant, we created a team of people to help get the proposal ready. Program directors have the program details, how results are measured, and what things cost. The accounting office provides financial reports that the funder requires, such as our annual audit or tax return. Our senior leaders reached out to the funder to discuss our project. When you're asking for a grant as large as $100,000 or more, you really need to discuss the project with the funder before you apply. They see this as a major investment in your future. They want to be part of something that is meaningful. Then my role is to make sure all these steps are taken, gather all the information, make sure it is complete and accurate, and then I can start writing. And then I submit the entire proposal to the funder by their deadline. If you miss that date, your proposal will not be accepted. Early in the video, I mentioned that funders receive many more proposals than they can ever fund, so there's no need to hold the deadline open for a late proposal. Step 5, how much should you ask for in a grant? It's so tempting to write your first grant for thousands of dollars and dream of how you'll spend all that money. But if it were that simple, would you need to slog your way through grant tutorial videos on YouTube? I'm very grateful you're here, especially if you've made it this far into the video. If you are new to grants, try one that you are confident you can complete and be proud of. This is the start of building new muscle and raising finances for your small business or nonprofit. Start with a smaller dollar amount than the example in this video, say $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. Those are good grants to get. It was so exciting to get my first grant back in the 90s. For $3,000, which funded an entire season of programs for the small nonprofit I managed. Over time, you build experience with these modest grant levels. You'll need to expand your team to write and manage larger grants. Then you will eventually prove to major grant funders that your work is a good investment. Of course, that's true with lenders and major donors as well. So let's get your journey started with one of these videos. Small business owners, this video is a deep dive into everything you need to prepare and submit a solid grant proposal. Nonprofit leaders, this video is a comprehensive run through the nonprofit grant process. I'm Tiffany. Thanks for watching. Choose one of these videos to watch next, and I'll see you there.